It is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! As we get to watch an exciting Locals Live matchup with Despia Shaddoll versus Swordsoul. So June is going to be piloting Despia Shaddoll, and he's going to activate Branded Opening. That allows him to send one card from his hand to the graveyard that is not a cost to be able to special summon a Despia monster or add to his hand. His monster of choice is going to be the Albert, but that will trigger the Shaddoll Squamata in his hand. How's Squamata do? To allow him to send a Red Shaddoll Windy and then special summon a Shaddoll Beast. Before we get deeper into this game, I just wanted to state that yes, there are some technical difficulties with our Locals Live. As you can see, most of the field is kind of cut off for June's side. We'll be working on that. There's a few logistics that we have to get over, quite a few hurdles when it comes to doing Locals Live as opposed to just doing it back at my house. And I really do appreciate you guys sticking with us so we can get you more Locals Live games. They're exciting. As June is now going to be able to activate Despia Theater of the Branded. He's now going to use his Branded Theater to fuse with his Albert and his Dramaturge into Masquerade. The skips are going to be us trying to cut down the dead time, as there is going to be quite a bit of dead time, but we'll work on that to make that a little bit smoother. Dramaturge's effect is going to activate, special summon itself to the side of the field, and it looks like June is going to end on Masquerade and Dramaturge. Not a bad board with a Shaddoll Beast face down. It looks like it's going to be Johnathan's turn. Let's see how this Swordsoul strategy works. Johnathan is going to start off with a Pot of Desires 4-cost, banishing 10 cards from the top of his deck. But unfortunately, because he wants to activate a card effect, Masquerade is going to charge him that 600 life points, putting him down to 7,400. June has the opportunity to respond. It doesn't look like he's going to respond with anything, but more about the Swordsoul strategy. It is a 1-card synchro summon deck. A lot of the cards that you have in your deck allow you to synchro summon with just 1 card or 1.5 cards a lot of times. As Chainlink 2, Johnathan's going to use Forbidden Droplet, sending his Pot of Desires from the field to the graveyard. Of course, he must pay 600 life points to be able to activate that, but this time around, he'll negate the Masquerade. Not wanting to take damage anymore, that actually could come up, as now he'll special summon Ecclesia the Virtuous in white to his side of the field. And Ecclesia is really good because it allows you to essentially search another Swordsoul monster to your side of the field, which could result in more than likely a free synchro summon. Using Ecclesia's effect, he's going to special summon Moye the Swordsoul Swordmaster to your side of the field. And then he's going to activate Moye, revealing a worm to be able to special summon a token. Now Johnny is going to use both the token and the Moye, placing the token in the graveyard. How could you, Johnny? He asks us to edit that, so we will. We'll put a token counter there. How many times he puts the token in the graveyard? Place your bets in the comment section. As you can see, Shishao is trying to activate its effect with Moye is Chainlink 2. But Dramaturge does see the Synchro monster on the field, and it can negate it regardless of the Chainlink. So Johnny won't be able to get that search with Shishao. I'm not sure if that's the greatest idea, because now Taya is going to follow up for the normal summon, banishing the Moye in the graveyard. This is what we mean by 1-card synchro summoning. Moye allowed him to synchro summon for free. Taya is now going to banish the Moye to special summon another token, and now he can synchro summon for free again. Using both the token, placing it into the graveyard. Nah, Johnny, we're still going to count that. He's going to make Boxia Brightness of the Yangzing, using its effect to be able to shuffle cards on the field into the deck. Taya allowing him to send a card from his deck to the graveyard. So this is putting Johnathan in a really good spot. Shishao may have its effect negated, but it's only for right now. It can still negate a monster effect if he so chooses. And Boxia can destroy cards on the side of the field to be able to special summon worm monsters from his graveyard. But more importantly, he was able to get rid of and break June's Despia Shaddoll board with ease. Going into battle, he'll attack with Shishao. That's going to be his Shaddoll Beast. June will draw 2 cards, then discard 1. And it looks like his card of choice is going to be the Dramaturge. He must have some really good cards. His 2,300 damage is going to be inflicted to June, putting him at 5,700. And now it's going to be June's turn to see if he can bounce back from this. He's going to start off by activating Gold SARCOPHAGUS. You can only guess what the card of choice is going to be to banished. It should be that's right, Despia Tragedy. And because Despia Tragedy was banished by a card effect, he can add one Despia monster from his deck to his hand. His monster of choice is going to be Aluber. There's so many great cards for Aluber to search now. The more branded cards that keep getting printed, the better Aluber becomes. As that monster, it could fetch a branded in red right now, which could add Dramaturge from the graveyard to the hand and then fusion summon. But Shishao right here is going to use its effect, being able to banish Swordsoul Emergence from the graveyard to negate Aluber. June thinking about what he should do with that. He's trying to consider, does he have enough damage reading Boxia? And I don't think that this was necessarily a bad play, but only if you have the way to go for game. June is going to use Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit on Shishao's effect. That gets rid of Shishao. Should he have saved that Ghost Ogre for the next upcoming play if he doesn't have game? Well, it looks like I want you guys to answer down below, and of course we'll find out. Now he's going to use Eldritch the Golden Lord. Oh man, no, he's fusing with Despia Theater of the Branded, his Shaddoll Squamata, and his Eldritch the Golden Lord into Shaddoll Construct. Construct is going to get negated by Ghost Mortar and Moonlit Chill. Oh man. Whoa. This is clutch. We're seeing some really awkward hand traps. Ghost Mortar and Moonlit Chill as well as Ghost Bell. Players are really trying to test out with that Burst of Destiny strategy, seeing what other hand traps can mesh inside of the format. Fortunately enough, Shaddoll Squamata, how Squamata doing, will trigger, allowing him to send from his deck to the graveyard. If June can't go for game, I think the best thing for him to do is to Shin Shaddoll Schism, but he's going to send Nel Shaddoll Ariel, banishing monsters from the graveyard on Swordsoul. The reason why I don't think that this is a great thing to do is because the Swordsoul strategy isn't necessarily required about its graveyard. I mean, Tia does need cards in the graveyard to activate, but that doesn't really do much. Eldritch the Golden Lord gets rid of Despia Theater Branded to summon itself. And now we go into battle. Shaddoll Construct into the Boxia, that's 500 damage. And then Aluber and Eldritch the Golden Lord puts Johnathan down to 1,000 life points. If only Johnny could at least make Masquerade here, he'd be in a pretty good spot, as his opponent would have one move before he couldn't do anything else, and he wouldn't be able to activate any additional cards. I think this is where Johnny may have realized that he might have misstepped right here. Because even if he does use Squamata to send Shaddoll Schism, he can then link off the construct into a... Oh no, he can't. He used Despia Theater of the Branded. He couldn't. Oh no, he can't even add Schism from his graveyard to his hand. So my misstep, he couldn't even get into the Schism lock here. Now it looks like Johnny is going to start off by activating Ashuna of the Tenye. That card spells trouble more often than not when it is being special summoned to the side of the field. Ashuna is going to find its way into a link. Johnathan's going to go ahead and link his Ashuna into Monk of the Tenye. And then what he can do right here is use the effect of Ashuna to be able to special summon Vishani. He gets that card to the graveyard. He can bounce a free card on the field to the hand. Johnny's going to follow with Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. Because he has a Tenye monster in his graveyard, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. We're going to have a slight time skip to skip what he does. He sends the Vishuda, and then he adds another card from his deck to his hand. I really wish we got that, but really trying to condense this video down to an appropriate size, we may have accidentally skipped that in editing. So now he's going to banish Tenye Spirit of Vishuda, being able to get rid of that Shaddoll Construct. And then he's going to special summon Vishuda to his side of the field. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, he can use both effects of Vishuda per turn. So Vishuda is going to find itself. And now Ashuna is going to banish itself to be able to special summon a Tenye monster from the deck to the side of the field. His monster of choice is going to be Adara. And now he's going to synchro summon with both Adara and Vishuda. He's going to use both of those monsters for potentially Boxia. That would spin the other two cards on the field. This is crazy. Boxia will spin both Aluber and Golden Lord back to the hand. And it looks like Johnathan's going to have a free shot at June's life points. This Swordsoul strategy is completely cracked, guys. And I know you're probably wondering what would be the TheCaliEffect's takes on these particular deck profiles. Let's go ahead and like these videos up. Put plays down below in the comment section if you want to see the Swordsoul deck or the Despia deck. Johnny's now going to go ahead and synchro summon after using Boxia's effect to summon Adara to Xiaofeng. And now light monsters can't use their effects from June's side of the field because Boxia is of course a Yangzing monster. He's now going to go ahead and normal summon Mo Yi, using its effect to reveal what? He's going to reveal a virtual world monster? Placing a token into his graveyard again to be able to synchro summon it to Shishao. And now Mo Yi draw a card, Shishao search. He's going to search Swordsoul Blackout. Now using Long Yuan's effect, discarding the virtual world monster. Placing a token into his graveyard again. But more importantly, he's synchro summoning into Baron or Xing, the Grand Swordsoul Duke. That is enough to go for game, and that was pretty crazy. Swordsoul showing their power, but hopefully Despia can climb back into this game. As June is going to go ahead and start off with Pot of Prosperity, banishing. Is it going to be 3 or 6? It looks like June is going to banish 3 cards from his deck, meaning that his hand may already be good. Ab Liptum and double branded opening. That's a pretty good sight to see. I think his choice is going to be the branded opening right here. June's still thinking about his potential add. Yeah, he's going to add the branded opening from his deck to his hand. And now he's going to activate said card. Discarding Despia Tragedy from his deck to the graveyard. That is pretty good. The effect of Tragedy will now activate. Alongside Aluber, he'll be able to add a branded spell or trap card from his deck to his hand. He's going to add the Theater. And then he'll also be able to add a Despia monster from his deck to his hand. That's going to be Dramaturge. From here, it looks like he's going to activate that Despia Theater of the Branded. And how he's going to use the Despia Theater to be able to fuse with both his Dramaturge and his Aluber. He's going to make that Masquerade. That card's pretty powerful, forcing the opponent to play life points. But Dramaturge is going to summon itself back to the side of the field. And then he's going to normal summon Shaddoll Dragon. Setting a card face down, it's going to be the end of his turn. Let's see if Johnny can be able to beat this board. He's going to have to pay 600 life points, and June can negate a face-up card on the field when a Fusion Synchro Exceed monster is summoned. Looks like Johnny's going to start with Long Yuan, but it looks like, oh no! Super Polymerization is going to be chained to make El Shaddoll Winda. Winda as Chainlink 2 is going to summon itself to the side of the field. Long Yuan special summons cannot summon a token because he's already fulfilled his one special summon for today. June has it as he's going to special summon Dramaturge to his side of the field. This is the reason why Shaddoll decks are just so good against the Swordsoul strategy. You summon a Winda and this could be over. That's exactly what it is. We're going right into game 3. June being able to climb his way back into the card game. All he had to do was summon Winda forehead. Now it's GG. Johnny with no Forbidden Chalice this time around has to concede the match. And we're going into game 3. Johnny's going to start off with Ashina. If he has another Tinye monster, he can actually prevent himself from being Effect Veiler, Nibiru, and Ghost Ogre. Linking that monster into Monk of the Tinye. And now he's going to use Pot of Desires, trying to draw more cards. I'm very curious to why he went into this sequence first. If he didn't even use Ashina's effect first, which is a little weird. But Johnathan is very new to this strategy. I think this was his second match ever. And I think he's playing fairly well. Gold Sarcophagus is going to be activated. That's going to banish Swordsoul Blackout potentially. Normally when you activate Gold Sarcophagus, you're probably going to banish the Swordsoul Blackout. So yeah, it is going to be Swordsoul Blackout, allowing him to special summon a token to his side of the field. Will he put this token to the graveyard too? Who knows? Next, he will use the effect of Ashuna. Ashuna will special summon Vishuda to his side of the field. Okay. That Ashuna, he illegally goes into the Swordsoul 10. The reason why it's illegal is because Vishuda is a 7 and his token is a 4 tuner. So that can't happen right now. He'll place both those monsters back to his side of the field, trying to figure out what exactly he's going to do in this situation. It looks like he's going to normal summon Moyi Swordsoul Master. Moyi will special summon another token by revealing a Swordsoul Emergence. So far, guys, I have counted him putting the token into the graveyard 5 times. Am I right, guys? Has Johnny put the token in the graveyard 5 times? We need a Swordsoul or a token counter, as he's going to synchro summon into Shishao. And then use the effect of Moyi is Chainlink 2, Shishao is Chainlink 1. He'll draw a card and be able to search a Swordsoul Blackout from his deck to his hand. He'll now activate that Swordsoul Emergence, and it looks like Johnny is popping off. He's going to get Long Yuan, and if he activates Long Yuan, well, I guess he was already ready for that Nibiru life. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and set a card face down, 3 cards face down, and that's going to be the end of his turn, potentially. Yes, it looks like it's going to be June's time to shine. Let's see if he can break this anti-spell fragrance. Whoa! That is unfortunate for the Shaddoll strategy. Shaddoll, Despia, Invoked, all of them do not like anti-spell fragrance, as it prevents them from using their important spell cards to be able to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. Johnny just so happened to have gone first and opened the anti-spell. Really smart play by him. June's going to follow with a monster in defense and 4 cards face down. That looks like it's going to be the end of his turn. During the end phase, Swordsoul Blackout is going to destroy the Vishuda to be able to destroy the 2 face down cards. What cards were those? Shaddoll Fusion? Oh man. That's a card you really want to see with this particular deck, especially in that type of board. That would have helped Johnny or June a lot. Next, Long Yuan is going to discard Moye. Long Yuan is going to bring out another token, and then we're going to go ahead and synchro summon again. He's going to synchro summon into Baron de Flor. He's going to use the effect of Baron de Flor to destroy his monster. That's going to trigger the effect of his Shaddoll Squamata, I believe. Yeah, that triggers the effect of a Shaddoll Squamata. Right here, I 100% would have used Squamata's effect to send Wendy, and then Wendy to summon Beast here, because this is not looking good for you. But instead, he's going to send Shaddoll Dragon, almost like it doesn't matter, because Baron de Flor is going to negate. So it kind of doesn't matter, whichever he does. And Johnny looking at a way to close this game out. Does he have enough? Yes, it looks like Vishuda is going to bounce another card. And yeah, that's going to be a good amount of damage. June is going to concede the game. A super polymerization phase down. That is disgusting. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give the video a like. Let us know what we can do to improve. But most of all, have an amazing day, as deck profiles galore are going to be coming out soon.